Hey guys, tired of feeling stuck in your dating life and striking out in the dating game? You're not alone. Maybe you just need some good coaching. Welcome to Just Ask Her, the no BS podcast for real dating advice straight from a woman's point of view. Dating expert Gracie Pleshcourt and her co-host, certified life coach Tracy Pleshcourt, are here to give you the play-by-play on how to attract more women you're interested in. So, let's take back control of your dating life. This is Just Ask Her.
Welcome back to episode 21 of Just Ask Her.
We're excited to have you here.
Yeah. It's been a quick week.
Yeah.
We had an out-of-town guest who came from Hill City, South Dakota to do a pop-up boutique here over the weekend.
Yes.
That was fast and furious. It was like such a blur.
Yeah.
But I'm a better person for it. I have lots of new clothes.
Yeah, you're all ready to go. I came over on Saturday to just be here for the pop-up and everything. And she was so excited about her new outfit that she's going to wear in LA this weekend. Mm-hmm. So
you're going to have to try to keep up.
You know what? I'm okay with you having the spotlight. It's totally okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fun though.
Yeah. So a little plug for Jewel of the West in Hill City, South Dakota. If you are looking for an amazing gift, she has men's gifts and men's wear, not as much. It's definitely more targeted to women, but it has that Southwest vibe to it, a little boho. It's very unique and
it's very high-end stuff.
Designer.
It's high-end designer jewelry and
lots of turquoise. That is absolutely stunning.
So. Yeah. So if you're somebody who appreciates that stuff, or you know somebody who appreciates that stuff, then it might be worth checking out if you're ever in Hill City, South Dakota.
Or follow her on Instagram.
Yep.
At Jewel of the West. All right. So this week we've got 3 submissions and 2 polls.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
3 submissions and 2 polls.
All right, let's jump into the first one. I thought this one was really interesting.
I think they're all interesting this week.
They're all really good. The first one is titled, Has Focusing on Myself Made Me Stop Wanting to Date? Hey, Gracie and Tracy, what are your thoughts on focusing on building a life you'd be happy with, even if you were single forever? That's what I've been doing for the last few years. I've been performing improv, training for my first half marathon, taking solo weekend backpacking trips, and volunteering with both a kayaking and climbing group, as well as an animal shelter. All of this has been great, and I feel more like myself than ever. The issue is that focusing on myself has made me way less interested in dating. Most of my hobbies don't include women, let alone single women my age. I'm realizing that while I feel more confident and outgoing than ever, these passions aren't putting me in places where women are, and they're not attracting them to me either. So here's my question. Is it possible to focus too much on yourself? Do I need to pull back on all of the joy I found to make space for dating? Do I have to start going to places just because women are there if I want to find a great partner and get married? How do I get the drive back to date when focusing on myself seems to have taken it all away? Appreciate the content. Keep up the good work, Kyle.
I think it's so interesting. The whole time I'm just sitting here like, how fascinating. Because you know what, Kyle, I think that you, in my opinion, are in like the best position to date.
100%.
And I know that can seem, it doesn't seem like it from my end, Gracie. Like I understand where you're coming from, and I understand how now having done all of these things, like I have a lot of clients that they've gotten used to being single. They've gotten used to their single life. They enjoy their single life. They enjoy life as is. And to compound on top of that, dating can be difficult. I get this question all the time. Like, why bother? Why even try if my life is fine the way it is? I would just challenge you to look at the other side of this, of if your life is this exciting and enjoyable as it is right now, imagine what that's going to be like when you do find your person who you can share those experiences with and enjoy all of these things with an amazing partner who complements your life. I think that this is such a cool time that you're in right now because you found all of these passions and you live such a fulfilling life that sure, you don't need somebody to complete that, but I don't think you'd be writing in if you thought that you could be satisfied living this life on your own, even though it is very fulfilling and enjoyable to you.
Yeah. I think it's rare to hear from someone who isn't writing in because they're lost. I mean, he is writing in because he has found himself.
Yeah.
It's just so refreshing. It's a beautiful dilemma to be in, for sure.
Totally.
And I don't think that you have necessarily lost the drive to date. I think you've raised the bar.
Yeah.
And that's how I would choose to think about it.
You're in such a powerful position, being that you don't need anybody to satisfy your life. You don't need anybody to fill any gaps or voids in your life. Like finding a partner is truly because it would be finding somebody that enhances it, that only makes your life better from where it's at.
Right. When you're in total alignment with yourself, you aren't searching because of lack.
Yeah.
And so that is a great place to be. And I think once you really wrap your head around what is actually happening, I think you're going to find so much more confidence, which is very attractive to women.
Yeah.
You've done so much work. You've created this life that's filled with meaning and momentum. It would make perfect sense that you don't find the old dating life appealing anymore. I think that this isn't about too much self-focus. It's really more about making sure your self-fulfilling life is open to be shared.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it's so great that you've found these things that you love doing and that you're passionate about and that are really bringing a lot of value to your life. But it's not enough to just be putting yourself in these places. If you want to date, if you want to get intentional about dating, it means actually putting yourself out there in a way that you're likely not right now. Just being in the places physically is not necessarily you connecting with people on an emotional level, or at least enough of an emotional level where you would have the opportunity to talk about how the fact that you're single and that you're looking to date and that you're open to being set up with people by other people who are already in your circles that could help you with this. Like you made a comment about, do you need to pull back on the joy that you found to make space for dating? And do you need to start just going places just because women are there? No, not necessarily. Yeah, that's a good way to put more women in front of you, of course, is to find more places that there's more women in. But it doesn't mean you like completely flipping your life upside down,
right,
and doing all of these things that you don't enjoy doing just for the possibility of meeting women. Just start tweaking the things that you are doing.
Yeah, start creating some little openings for people to walk through. Start telling your friends that, you're in the dating scene or that you're looking for new people to date. Like, I think that's probably, as long as these are trusted friends, I think that's a great place to start. You could start going on kind of low stakes dates, like just one per month. And you're going to be doing it not with the goal of finding the one, but you could do it with the goal of just practicing to be open again.
Same thing with just like having more conversations with women. It sounds like right now you're not really having conversations with women. You said that you're going places that don't include women. And it's like most of the places that you listed very easily could include women, or they do and you're just not taking advantage of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think another important piece is that there needs to be a mind shift here. You're thinking about dating as a lot of work. And I think it might be really easy for you to think about dating in the context of some of these excursions and these explorations that you're already doing. So really challenge your thinking and your mindset on dating is work. Maybe dating is just another kind of exploration.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I also think that shifting from the mindset of, it sounds like maybe you feel you need this in your life. You're looking at dating from a place of kind of dread. And sometimes that comes from a place of feeling you need something in your life. Maybe this has always been an idea for you of, I need to find my person, or I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Shift your focus to, I want. Like, what is it that you want? I want to find somebody that I can enjoy these experiences with. I want to have new, exciting experiences. I want to see what else is out there.
Right.
I want to find somebody who compliments me.
Yeah. And it's not going to compete with all of my passions. It's going to complement my passions.
Gonna add to them. Yeah, totally. Really, all you need here is the mindset shift, because you are doing a lot of good things for your dating life. I mean, that's not all you need. There's things that we need to intentionally be doing so that you have a better chance at meeting women, but I don't think you're that far off. You just are telling yourself that you are, and that you would need to drop everything in your life in order to find her, which is just not the case.
So ask yourself this: if somebody incredible came into my life today, would I have space for them this week? Like, would you have space in your day? Would you have space in your world? Would you have space in your mind to have this incredible person? If the answer is no, then maybe the next place of growth for you isn't necessarily giving up your weekends or giving up your improv. It's really learning, how do I stretch a little bit? Like, how do I build this bridge from my inner world to someone else? I think it's a challenge worth being intentional about, because it's quite possible.
Yeah.
When you're not in this starvation or desperation mode, it's very possible that person is going to come along.
Or that she's already in your life.
Yeah. So ask yourself that.
Yeah.
Do you have the capacity for that person right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Because to answer your question, I do think it's possible to focus too much on yourself. You do have to be open to the idea of allowing somebody new in, allowing the opportunity of somebody to be able to add to your life.
If you're looking to share your life with somebody,
yeah,
which it sounds like he is.
Yeah. Yeah. It is more than just saying that you want to find your person.
I don't think you need to date more. I think you need to date differently, which I think is kind of funny, because do you still have something called Dating Differently?
Yeah, my academy.
Oh, okay. It's such a perfect name. It's often not a complete overhaul. It's just a few little tweaks. And I think that's the case for Kyle, for sure.
It's hard work. It's not something that just comes out of nowhere. Like, dating is hard work, and it should be. You're finding the person that completes your life. It shouldn't be easy. Otherwise you wouldn't want it. And I think that when I'm working with clients, it's not because you're incapable of finding her. It's just because you've taken some few wrong approaches, and it's time to clean those up. And for you, Kyle, it really is getting more intentional about what it is that you want, really what it is that you want, so that you can start to figure out how to actually place her into your life.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if she's already in your life and that you just haven't connected with her yet.
Yeah. Great advice. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a fun one. Thanks for writing in, Kyle. Okay. So for the second submission, we titled it, "Do Women See Me as Weak for Being Flexible on Dates?" This was written in by Kelly. From advice I've seen and heard from you and others, as well as from seeing it on a lot of women's dating profiles, it seems like most women really love when guys plan the dates. So for all my recent dates, I've come prepared with a plan, but every time the woman ends up suggesting something different and I go along with it. Honestly, I don't mind, but it got me wondering, Is this some kind of unspoken masculinity test I'm failing when I agree to change the plan? It's been bugging me because all those dates ended up being just first dates, nothing beyond that. If it is a test, how do I handle it without coming off like a jerk for insisting we stick to my plan, especially when, truthfully, I don't really care either way? Does this make sense?
Yes, this completely makes sense.
Yeah.
And you're asking the right question.
Like, such a good question.
Yeah, which is not, am I doing something wrong, but is the way I'm showing up being read the way I intend it to be?
Yeah.
So I think it's an awesome question. You have powerful self-awareness, and it tells me that you're not just dating, you're actually paying attention. So good on you.
Yeah.
I would like to clear something up right at the jump. Flexibility is not a weakness. It's wisdom. The fact that you're adaptable and you're easygoing, that's a strength of yours. It definitely shows confidence, emotional intelligence, and the ability to respond to someone else's needs rather than just bulldozing your own agenda. So that's not a failure of masculinity. I think it's kind of a maturity marker. So
I don't think that it's a problem in the slightest that she's suggesting something and you're going with it. I don't think that's a problem at all. What you're talking about, like my videos where I'll say, plan the date. It's attractive when guys take the initiative to plan the date. That's true. It is attractive. But also, if she's giving ideas that she's saying she would like to do, it's also attractive to go with it. If she seems excited about a date idea, go with it. I think it's interesting. And I hear this all the time. You guys dissect my videos like nobody's business. And of course, why would you not? I completely understand why you're taking every single word I'm saying face value. But what I'll tell you is that no circumstance should be handled the exact same. So while I'm giving you a lot of general advice on my social media, and for the most part, I would say it stands true in a lot of cases, there are cases where like this, where she's giving you ideas that she's excited about and would like to do that absolutely you should go with. Like, don't make it harder than it needs to be. I would say above all else, make dating simple. If you can make it simple, do it. And this is a very easy way to make it simple and not overcomplicate the very first steps of getting out on a date with somebody. The other piece to this is you asked if this could be a reason why you're not getting past the first dates. And my answer to that is likely no. It's likely not the reason why you're getting past the first dates, because she wouldn't accept or go out with you in the first place if she really had a problem with you saying yes to the place she suggested. Maybe there's a small percentage of crazy ladies out there that would do something like this. But I think it's so funny that guys feel like women always have this hidden agenda when it comes to these tests and things.
Yeah. And the way that I guess he kind of positioned it, it sounded like, is there this manipulative type test?
Yeah, I do think that women can be guilty of doing stuff like that, but not on a first date, not where they're just getting to know you for the first time too. Stuff like that, like tests, quote unquote, comes in a relationship or when you're getting closer to a relationship. I don't think that's something that guys should be stressing over for a first date. It would make zero sense for a woman to say yes to your date if she thought it was weak of you to go with her idea. She would probably call off the date if that's what she thought, right? Like you're actually getting out on the first date. That tells me that everything was great leading up to whatever went down on the first date. And I'm not saying that means that you're doing something wrong. I'm just saying that maybe there is a connection issue. Maybe you're not building enough chemistry on that first date. 80% of the time when guys come to me and they're struggling to get past those first couple dates, it's because they are struggling to build enough chemistry on that first date. Rare is it that you did something wrong before the date that turned her away.
You can test this theory out. The next time this happens, just stand up for the plan that you already have in mind. Stick with your own original plan at least share it with her before flexing.
What do you mean?
Well, he could say, I had set up this cozy little spot for cocktails. I think you would really love it. Let's try it. And date number 2, let's go with your plan. It's doing a couple important things. It's showing that you thought out this experience and it wasn't just some random pick. You put a lot of thought and effort into it.
Yeah.
And it also shows that you're open to her input and you're setting yourself up for the expectation of a second date. Try that. It can't hurt to just prove or test out whether this has any impact on lack of second dates.
I'd say what's not attractive is the waffling back and forth. Like the let's go out. Sure. What do you want to do? Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? That's not attractive. If it comes to that, if there's no ideas on the table or you guys agreed on the date and she's not giving any options, just say, great, I've got a place for us. I've already picked out a really great spot for cocktails. How is this day and time? And then go from there. If you guys agreed that a day and time works and she's like, oh, I was thinking that, or you give out a couple ideas and then she was like, oh, I was actually thinking that we go for a walk on this new trail I found. That's fine. Go with it. You could just say, sounds great. Let's go with your idea for the first one. And for the second one, I've already got a plan for it. What's attractive is not having to feel like you're putting in so much effort. When I was in the dating scene, there were guys that would loosely talk about going on dates and then never follow through on it. They would say, oh, we should grab drinks sometime. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we should. And then nothing comes of that conversation. That's not attractive. I'm not going to go out of my way to set up drinks with you if you're not serious about it, right? That's where being decisive is a good thing. Mm-hmm. And actually, hey, how's this Thursday? Let's go grab drinks here. And then if she gives another alternative, fine. Go with that one and then pick yours for the second one or pick a different idea for the second one and just tell her, hey, this is where we're going. I've already got reservations.
I think you're learning, Kelly, how to walk that line between being flexible and being a leader.
Yeah.
And the best part of all of this is that you are so close. I think you just need a little bit more intentionality in how you present and maybe even protect the plans that you've made. And then you'll really start to communicate exactly what it is that you want to be known for or what it is that you stand for, which in my opinion is like being super thoughtful, being grounded, being adaptable, and capable of leading with heart. Your curiosity is magnetic. And so keep doing a lot of what you're doing. So
yeah, if you see this pattern continuing, I created an entire course for this exact reason, because I had so many men coming to me with this exact problem. I don't know how to build chemistry on a first date because it can be hard. Meeting somebody for the first time and trying to get comfortable enough to build chemistry with them, that can be scary. And it can be like trying to initiate physical touch and doing it in an appropriate way. There's lots of pieces to it. There's lots of ways that you can build chemistry. And so if you're really struggling with that piece and you're now reflecting on it, now hearing us talk about it, and you're like, yeah, I don't know how to do that, I would strongly consider jumping into my membership, because this is exactly what I help guys with on a daily basis. It's a common thing and it's a skill you can learn. And once you've got it down, you're likely going to start getting past those first dates a lot easier. So
thanks for writing in, Kelly. Keep us in the loop.
Yeah.
Hey there. If you're loving the Just Ask Her podcast, please take a quick second to rate us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It helps more awesome listeners like you find the show. And don't forget to spread the love by sharing this episode with all of your friends. All right, back to Just Ask Her. All right, the third submission. Should I ask out my brother's wife's best friend?
It's a mouthful.
How should I move forward with my younger brother's wife's best friend who seems to like me? I currently don't have any communication with my brother's wife, which has made me hesitant to ask her best friend out. That said, we both enjoy playing squash together, and I feel like there might be a potential between us. I want to handle this situation carefully without impacting any other relationships. Should I pursue something with her without bringing up the family dynamics? Or would it be better to step back entirely, even though I'm seriously considering taking a chance on her?
This is a good one. And I'm assuming there are some gaps here that leave us to make assumptions about what's going on. I'm assuming you're saying that you and your brother's wife do not have a good relationship. And that's why you guys don't have any communication with each other. And so you're questioning whether it's a good idea to ask her best friend out, even though there isn't a good relationship between you and her best friend, right? I think that it does make it kind of a sticky situation that doesn't necessarily call for you completely dropping this and walking away. I would say if it's worth it to you, if you're really enjoying spending time with her and you're getting signs that she enjoys spending time with you, have a conversation with her. I would just be honest, just be upfront about it. And you can say, listen, I have really been enjoying my time with you and I've been having a lot of fun when we come and play squash together. I am really interested in you and I would like to take you on a date, but I have felt a little bit hesitant about this because I know that so-and-so is your best friend and I am not currently on speaking terms with her. And I don't know if that would matter to you. And go from there. Depending on how serious this like tiff between the two of you really is, this might be a way for you to mend it, honestly.
Yeah, it might shed some light. It doesn't sound like you're doing this with any sort of malicious intent, like to get back at the brother's wife.
It could be misconstrued that way if you don't say anything.
Saying something up front is going to be helpful. The more communication around this very kind of delicate situation, the better.
Yes.
The best friend's loyalties are going to be divided, and you having that conversation with her up front,
just being honest,
shows a lot of integrity.
Totally. And maturity.
Yep.
It's likely that she knows the situation. If this really is her best friend, it's likely that she already has been informed on the situation between you and the sister-in-law. Yeah. And so being honest about where you're at and that you're interested in her and that you have felt hesitant about it because you know how close she is with your sister-in-law, like, I think that speaks volumes to your character and your maturity. And then I think that moving forward, if you're not in a place where you want to mend whatever this issue is with your sister-in-law, I think that making sure that you're keeping the relationship about you and this girl, not about you and the bad relationship you have with your sister-in-law or you bashing your sister-in-law. You definitely don't want to cross those lines. You definitely don't want to make her feel like she's in the middle of something. I would tell her how you feel and just be very honest and just say, you know, I know this might be a little bit of a weird situation for you given the circumstances with the dynamics between me and my family and the dynamics between you and your best friend, but I felt like it was worth putting it out there to you because I have really enjoyed my time with you. And
and give her a little bit of space to share her thoughts and feelings, because like we said, it might shed a little bit of light and clear up some confusion.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, should I step back? I would say no.
I wouldn't step back.
The only way I would have advised him to step back was if this sounded like it was coming from a place of confusion or loneliness or trying to prove something.
Yeah.
And from what he's written, that does not sound like the case at all.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's genuinely interested in her and there's genuine concern around doing the right thing. So with that, I would say move forward with the thoughtfulness and the care that it sounds like you're capable of. This could be a really cool opportunity for you to create a strong foundation with somebody by showing them the kind of consideration and integrity.
Totally. It gives you major bonus points, like right out of the gate. Taking something that feels a little awkward or uncomfortable and being very like matter of fact, like I know that this is the situation and I know that like you probably know the dynamics. And if that if that is too much for you, or if that is something you're not interested in exploring, I totally get it. But I would be kicking myself if I didn't tell you how I've been feeling, and I just wanted to know where your head would be at.
Yep. I think that's a great way of handling it.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck. Yeah. I'm excited. You should definitely write us back in and let us know what you end up doing. All right. So we have 2 polls this week. So the first one I asked was, what's the most confusing part about dating? And the answers I gave were 1, the talking stage, 2, after a few great dates, 3, when things are serious but aren't defined, and 4, first few months in a relationship. What's the most confusing part about dating? What would you think?
I would think when things are starting to get serious, but it's not very
not
defined.
defined.
That just says to me that they need more clarity.
Yeah.
And especially when you're beyond the first few dates, and that tells me that you want to be there. If things aren't very defined, then I would say that's probably the most confusing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have said between that one and the talking stage. I think that the other 2 have confusing moments, but I would say usually after the first couple of dates, I would say that's like probably where people overthink the most is like after a few first like really great dates, then it goes into like overthinking mode. And then I would also say in the first few months of a relationship, like that can be a really interesting time because you're actually exploring what like a real relationship together looks like. And that can it can be interesting. 2 people trying to share a life is an interesting dynamic. So, so yeah, the most responded to was number 1, the talking stage. That was 47%. The second one was when things are serious but aren't defined, which is 30%. The next one was after a few great dates, 15%. And then first few months in a relationship was 8%.
Yeah. Knowing that the talking stage is the most confusing part, use that stage to your advantage. If you can stay in a place of curiosity, you win. Like keep asking the questions and keep striving for clarity, ask for clarification. You don't have to say it in that way, but women, I think, they like to talk about themselves. So ask a lot of questions. Like you are going to do nothing but position yourself in a really great way when you are genuinely curious about her and her life.
100%. I like use that as the time for gathering information. Like literally, if you can look at it, and it sounds like, I don't mean that to sound, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I don't mean it to diminish like the emotional piece of a relationship. But I also think like you're so early on, like really what you should be focusing on is whether or not you like spending time with this person, whether or not you guys align on things, whether or not you like have common interests, whether or not you're compatible. And really you can't find that stuff out until you've had enough time together. And so like, why are you trying to make decisions before you've had all of the information given to you? It's like actually take that time to just enjoy spending time together. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. You're going to find that out. Sitting here and stressing about whether or not it's going to work is not helpful. It's not going to get you anywhere.
How can this be the perfect stage for you? And that goes for any of the stages that you might be in right now. Ask yourself that question. How could this be the perfect stage of this relationship?
Yes.
What's perfect about it? Get your focus off of what's wrong or confusing about this particular stage and get it onto what's perfect about this stage.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the other thing is there's different ways people define the talking stage. If the talking stage for you means like texting and messaging back and forth or FaceTiming or whatever with somebody for months, my guy, you have been doing it all wrong. And like, I think the talking stage is like what people use as an excuse to not move forward, as an excuse to not put themselves out there or to not be vulnerable or actually ask her out on a date. Like, knock it off. You don't need to be sitting in the talking stage, messaging back and forth with somebody for more than 2 weeks before deciding if you want to go on a date with them. No, by then you should know if you want to go on a date with them. And if you're not going on a date with them, it's because you have some nerves, which is fine. It's totally normal. Or you're not getting very serious about what it is that you want. And that's not fun either. Decide for yourself. And if it's not this person, or you're like, she's fun to talk to, but I don't think I'd want to go on a date with her, then fine. But like sitting in the middle.
Yeah. What's your hard and fast rule on how long before you get off the dating app and into real
dating app? Like a day.
Or even texting. Oh, a day?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
I think that okay. I think it depends on the demographic that's on the dating app. If you're in like a more mature bracket, let's say 35 and up, I would say like you're dating women that are 35 and up. Okay, you might need to take a little bit more time on the apps. You might need to take 2 to 3 days. But
wow.
The reason why you want to get off the apps as soon as possible is because from a woman's point of view, like they're getting flooded with messages and matches like every single day. Like the average woman that's on a dating app is getting like 20 to 30 plus likes a day. And then however many matches that's converting over to. And so it's like you staying on the apps like with the hopes of building more rapport or like having all of these surface level conversations, not helpful. You're likely what's going to happen is somebody's going to ask her out first. The conversation's going to fizzle out before you ask her on a date, or you're going to get buried by her other matches. Don't waste your time on there. Just if you're interested in her, tell her that. Let her know, hey, I'm super interested in you. I would love to take you out for drinks this Thursday. What do you think? And then if she's interested, then move on to giving her your number and getting the date set up from there. And then you can have however much time in between the date and whatever to keep building rapport if that's what you need to do. But
via text.
Yeah.
Off the app.
Okay. Yeah. But I just think that it's not helpful to sit on the apps for weeks on end with somebody. You're losing your opportunity. So the faster you can get off the apps, the better. And there's going to be women that are like, that's too soon. I don't give out my phone number that soon. And that's fine. Like, respect that. Tell them, hey, no worries. I totally get it from your point of view. Like, I want you to feel comfortable. Totally fine. And then keep chatting for another day. And then ask her if she wants to get on a phone call or something before setting up a date. Like, you can try again. But most women, the women that are serious about using the apps for dates, they're not going to mind you being serious enough to ask her out on a date rather than this wishy-washy surface level conversation back and forth. That's not getting either of you closer to actually getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Let's just get on the date so you guys can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your next poll?
Okay. The next poll is, would you date someone who doesn't believe in labels? And the answers were yes. I don't believe in them either.
Okay. Time out.
I knew you were going to ask.
What does this even mean? What is a label?
Like, defining the relationship.
Oh, okay.
Would you date somebody who like doesn't want to say that you guys are exclusive, or that doesn't necessarily want to say that you guys are in a relationship, or that you're boyfriend and girlfriend?
Oh, okay. So are there...
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are there very clearly defined labels? Are there 5 labels that...
No. No, by labels, it's saying if you're in a relationship or not.
Oh, okay. So it's just yes or no?
I mean, yeah. Like, there's a big difference in somebody saying, you used to do this. You used to be like, she would air my business out to people who would be asking what I've been up to. And she'd be like, oh, she's been dating this guy. And I'm like, I've been on 2 dates with him. Don't tell people that. Don't tell people I'm in a relationship with him.
But you just said, she said, she's been dating this guy. I didn't say you were in a relationship with him. I said, you've been dating this guy.
Yes, but that can be interpreted as in a relationship. So I always had to go back and clearly define the fact that, no, we've not put any labels on this. We are not in a relationship right now.
Okay. So this clearly demonstrates the generational differences.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But does that make sense now?
Yes. So would you date someone who doesn't believe in labels?
Yes.
So you're asking, would you date somebody who...
I don't believe in labels. Let's just see where things go.
If you're reading between the lines, isn't that like, I'm not going to be exclusive with you? Isn't that what they're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So the answers were, yes, I don't believe in them either. 2, no, I need commitment. 3, only if we both agree it's casual.
And what does casual mean?
What do you mean?
Casual means
Like just hanging out or just going on dates. We're not in a
with as
relationship.
many people as we want to.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, my point of view is probably irrelevant.
What is your point of view?
Would I date somebody who didn't believe in being exclusive? I guess I'm having to try.
Yeah.
I have to like interpret it.
Because nowadays, Mom, people are, because for, I don't know, for whatever reason, because they have a lot of options or because they don't like commitment, whatever it is, like this is where the term situationship comes in. You know how people have written that in on some of our submissions? Like we were in a situationship.
Yeah. I never know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, that's this, because they don't want to call it a relationship. So they're calling it a situationship.
Oh my God.
They've now coined that term and made it like that's...
Okay. So in that case, I think if you both are on the same page and you both want to be casual or in a situationship, great. But I think it's not going to work if you've got one person who is looking for their person to be committed to, and you've got another person who is not looking for long-term commitment, then it's not going to work.
1000%. And I toyed with not even giving the option of only if we both agree it's casual, because obviously that makes sense if both parties agree that this is just casual. But what I'd say to that is usually one of them's lying. Like usually that's not the case. The reason why situationships never work is because one person starts to really like the other person and
get their feelings hurt.
Yes, and they get their feelings hurt. Exactly. That's why situationships never work out. And usually the person who was the deciding vote on this, the person who said they don't want labels, usually they're just not that into you. You're a fun time to be around and that's it. Like really, that's what's going on, and that hurts people's feelings, and they don't want to believe that, or they want to believe that it's going to change. The more time you spend with somebody, like the closer you get, it'll probably change. Like then we'll be in a relationship. No, it doesn't work that way. Like if somebody has said they don't believe in labels or they just want things to be casual right now, it's because they're not that into you. They just like having you around, and they truly are just looking for something very casual to fill some void right now. That's it. And you're going to end up being the one hurt if that's not you.
If that's not what you're looking for.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. If you're sitting here hoping that it's going to change her mind, or because she said not right now, that means down the road, it doesn't.
If she says not right now, turn on your heels.
Yes, walk the other way. Seriously. I want to beat my head through a wall when people tell me we were in a 2-year, 3-year situationship. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh my God. Now I have to check the explicit box.
It just is crazy. You're wasting 2 to 3 years of your life basically chasing somebody that doesn't want you. That's basically what you're doing. And you deserve better than that.
Amen.
Anybody deserves better than that. I promise you there is somebody out there that wants you, that would want you just as much as you want them. So quit settling for this situationship shit. Like it is just another excuse that people have made up to not commit to you. And it is not a good one. Hear me right now. If I see any more of you write in that you were in a 3-year situationship or you're in one right now, you already know my answer.
You've been put on notice. We should have t-shirts made.
Situationship shit.
Say no to situationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Ask Her merch will be available next week.
All right. Well, that was a good poll.
Yeah.
I learned something.
Yep. Hopefully others did too. I love you all. It's coming from much love. It's coming from a very deep place of love. And I want to see you guys happy. And situationships are not the way to do that.
All right. Well, until next week, take care.
Thanks for listening to Just Ask Her. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to rate and review us. And be sure to follow Gracie on TikTok and Instagram at @datingwithgracie. Thanks again for listening.